I don't know where I'm gonna go with this, but it is really important information that will help you link up with the with the type of girl that is gonna be your type, likes you, you like her, you kind of know what you're walking into when you go holler at her, in a coffee shop, in a club, like wherever you are. I've been having this idea for a long time, and I finally decided to do this video about makeup in Japan, and not only makeup with Japanese girls, but specifically like makeup atmosphere, everything, how you can kind of size up different chicks here. I'm specifically going to go based on my view experience here in the Tokyo area, my eye, what I see in these streets, and give you just my just wild speculation, pure just eyeball judgment of some YouTube women, girls, women, Japanese, whatever you want to say, Japanese girls who are makeup YouTubers. They're doing different styles of makeup. I just want to give you some different examples of the nuances of different looks you might see here, because you might think, okay, it's all Japanese, it's all good, but there are some nuances and attitude, and I want to just give you my take on it to help you make judgments on, who you might approach, or just not even make judgments, to help you get a better idea of who you might want to approach if it lines up with my opinions. As always, leave information in the comments, guys who are more experienced with Japanese girls. The comments are fire. Thank you guys so much. I'm really, really, really thankful for you guys for the effort you've been putting into the comment section. The new guys who are doing their pre-study to come to Japan, the OGs who are sharing their experience, living here. It's all good. This is exactly what I wanted for this channel, and hopefully future channels in the future. But yeah, for now, let's get into it and see what happens. It's going to be fun. So just some quick background info, and then we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna do 4 professional makeup YouTube channel review videos. I'm not gonna have any sound because they're just talking in Japanese about makeup, so we don't really care about that. You just want the good stuff, right? And I just picked them based on kind of what I feel is a wide variety spectrum, and I'm rating them from my least favorite, the most annoying. Again, I'm not just in case women. I'm not saying these women specifically, okay? But I'm saying just based on what I see, my not knowing anything about them. I'm sure they're really nice people, but the least annoying that I would least want to approach if I were like, still in my 20s and single, all the way up to the one who I'm like, I'm going in, okay? So stick around to the end and see, what comes up last. All right, it might surprise you a little bit. So here's the first one by Yoshida Akari, and I guess she's really popping makeup tutorial wherever she does. I don't know. I just clicked on this video, but let's see her. Spoiler: she's my least favorite one, and I'll explain why in a second. So okay, yeah, I forgot about this. So first off, like just looking at her, you can tell just by her atmosphere, the pointing kind of thing, and that kind of she's very, she seems very. This type of Japanese girl is very kind of not concise. If you listen to her voice, she has kind of a high pitched voice, and these type of women for me are secretly really shallow. Like they want, this is like basic, I want to be pretty. I want a nice life. I'm trying to be a social climber type look, in my opinion. It's, I want to be conservative. I'm not too flashy. I don't really have my own individual style, but I want to be stylish, but not too out there and kind of look. So if I just pull up a screenshot, a couple of things I noticed. First, the white fluffy sweater, that is a big tell. You gotta think, because you might think, well, why a white fluffy sweater like that? Well, for one, it's probably, well, she's a big popping YouTuber, so it's probably a nice quality one, but generally speaking, it could be a low budget one, from like H&M or something like that, that looks like it's high quality, but it probably isn't in most cases. The earrings that look gold, very simple makeup, a little bit of red lipstick, thin eyebrows, her general atmosphere. She seems like a conservative, respectful kind of girl, which is what you want. And she's not like a gold digger or anything like that, but she would be lining herself up to find like a guy with a solid middle class career who would want to who wants to live in like a high rise condominium somewhere and have like 1, maybe 2 kids, drive, like have some type of car, take some type of vacations. Nothing too flashy, not a gold digger, but she's trying, whether regardless of her background, she's trying to position herself for the kind of guys that will want someone who seems pure, even though she might be willing to get down and dirty, you know, who plays it shy, you know, might possibly be like a tease, but generally, you know, doesn't really want to sleep around on the first night, or doesn't want to be seen as being sleeping around on the first night. No, but you might be able to get with them after a couple of dates. But generally speaking, they're kind of shallow and annoying, you know. So there's really nothing beyond what you're seeing, you know. And so she doesn't really think too much deeply than, you know, what she consumes and how she kind of dresses herself up to kind of appeal to get the things that she kind of sees herself as deserving in life. I've heard someone say, a Japanese woman actually, like say that these, she reminds me of the type of women that, you know, do these kind of things. Like, there's another great video I want to do about like matchmaking parties. This is the type of girl who really calculates how to get a guy using specific techniques, because they don't really have anything to offer by themselves, right? She's like a shallow person, doesn't really think about much, you know, doesn't really have any depth to her and nothing really interesting. So the only thing she has is looking cute, pretty, pure, and innocent, but she doesn't have a huge budget to buy a whole bunch of really like nice, high level stuff. So she's, you know, faking it till she's making it kind of person, you know, really. And yeah, generally, you know, would pout, throw a hissy fit if they don't get what they want, complain and stuff like that. Just mainly, long story short, high maintenance and not really my type. Generally, not really interested in black guys, in my opinion. So yeah, she just kind of is not it for me. Again, it sounds really harsh. I want to be clear. I'm not judging her specifically, just on her atmosphere. This type of atmosphere, I heard her voice a little bit. It kind of like triggered me, because go back and watch her video and you'll kind of know what I'm saying. That pitch voice, this type of atmosphere is, or does she have a little, she got another little piercing up here, trying to throw one extra piercing on the top of her ear, trying to throw a little bit of attitude in there, but you know, like, yeah, she's just positioning herself for a house, to be a housewife, and it's not really my style at all. Ugh. Next up is a creator called Tarui Mika. She again is, I will put her kind of in a similar category as the first one, you know, meaning not really my style, for but different reasons. Like, and let's just get into it so I can kind of let you know what I'm thinking. So she doesn't have that much stuff with that, with her wearing full makeup, but just this after pose, you know, she's got a little bit long nails, a little bit gathered kind of thing. She seems like she's a little bit stylish, but not really necessarily interested in dating foreign guys, you know, just because she, again, I'll put her in the more shallow type. For me, more obsessed with looking good, you know. I'll put a still up here just so you can see. More obsessed with looking good, trying to pose. Not necessarily, she has her own style, much more than the first one, but it seems like it's not, you know, anything. She doesn't really have anything to offer beyond that. You know, she just likes to appear what she sees as being stylish. You know, lots of eye makeup, lots of face makeup and stuff like that. She doesn't, you know, she seems like if you have dinner with her, the conversation probably wouldn't be that deep, right? Yeah, she probably doesn't speak English either. Like, neither the first two, I probably wouldn't expect that type of body language, that type of atmosphere. I wouldn't expect them to be able to speak English. The first one, you know, I'd say she's a bit more shallow. So if you were her type, like, you know, you might be able to talk her into like hanging out, even if she doesn't have English ability. The second one, she just seems like, you know, a bit lazier, a bit more aloof. Those kind of girls, you know, they're a bit more gathered, like Shibuya kind of gathered. So it's kind of more like, you know, things that require any study or anything academic. They're just kind of like, I don't really want to do all that. It's much easier just to get with a Japanese dude, you know, and get attention from them if I wear like whatever I wear, and then that's what they'll deal with, you know. Again, she's, again, not her specifically, but just that type, that look, you know. I would just avoid in just that atmosphere of like, oh, look at me kind of stuff. Like, oh, you know, I want to look good for Instagram, but I'm not generally that interested in guys, that interested in, you know, dating or stuff like that. Like, she might have a pop in Instagram, she might dress really nice, she might have good hair and makeup and stuff like that, but she's not really that with it. with guys, maybe not even have that much experience with guys when it comes down to it. Might not even enjoy getting physical that much because she might not have like opened herself up, what I'm saying, enough to actually enjoy it, and get freaky deaky like you want to get freaky deaky. That's what I'm saying. Next is Mizukoshi Shimato. She's got a really unique name, interesting name. Now this one, she's interesting for me because she's not on top on my list, but for me personally, she seems most like the one that I would want to have a long term relationship with if I were single and younger. So let's take a look at her and completely judge her. But again, this is I'm just doing this to kind of give you guys an eye. The main thing I want you guys to think about is not just like what she looks like. Oh, she's fine or whatever. She's your type, but the way they move. Their body language, the small gestures or twitches and things like that, like how elegant, graceful, the way they move their head, all of those things when you talk to Japanese people, you kind of pick up what type of person they are, reading their atmosphere that way. So, if you really focus on the subtle nuances of all of their body languages, they're all really, really different people. Not just how they look. It's not always like what you see. It's kind of what goes on beneath the surface a little bit, really tells you a lot about the person. So don't just go like stereotyping all the ones you see just wearing the similar makeup. There are a little bit nuances to it, but this is just kind of what my eye is picking up. So let's take a look at her. Again, her link is going to be in the channel if you want to like listen to her talk or watch her put on makeup or whatever. So now right away for me, she seems like she's thinking a lot. Like of course she's on the camera, but the way she squints her eyes, she's very like deliberate with how she talks. Of course she's really beautiful. One thing, of course, I want you to notice, like eye makeup here is really, really important in Japan right now. Like Japanese women, I'm going to stop it and show you a quick screenshot like of her, because eye makeup here right now is really, really important. There are a few tricks that young Japanese women are using. I think it's influenced from Korea. Like one thing, look for under the eye and over the eye, because a lot of Japanese women don't really have double eyelids. It was like a really big thing back in the day. And there's a lot of optical illusions going on for women to make it young, especially women in their 20s, to appear like they do have double eyelids. And she does it really well. If you look, especially I think it's from Korea, under the eyelid, right? The bottom eyelid. She doesn't really this kind of puffy eyelid look that makes it look three-dimensional, but it's really just different shades of makeup that make it seem like she has like popping eyelids, but she probably doesn't. So if she washes off her face makeup, it probably doesn't look like anything there. So really pay attention. Like I've seen dudes do it as well. The corner of the eye to make it like look like a shadow to make their eyes look pointed. Or also like under the eye, especially to make it look more three-dimensional, is something that I've really been noticing. So some do it well. Some of them do it with that. For me, that's a tell like how stylish a girl is. Like some of them they do it really well, and it's really you gotta like look at it to see. Some of them you can tell like just got some like crap jumped clunked up on below their eyes and looks really weird. But if you're in a nightclub or a bar, you might not be able to see so well. But as you're walking, I mean, don't just go like staring at girls all in the face, but just take a second and girls who are younger, look at the bottom part of their eye, and you'll kind of start to get a feel for most of it's makeup, most of it's optical illusions, and depending on for me how much they're trying to compensate for something, that's how much of it's clunked on. All right, back to her. So her, I like the way she does it, and even if I'll show her, like, when of course, she's not naturally, this isn't her natural look. She's also got quite a large amount of subscribers, and this is supposed to be her no makeup face, but she's got makeup on already. Like, and you can just kind of see how she's done her pre makeup, her lipstick, her eyes, and stuff like that to make it look like she's just natural. But she's got that under her eyes as well, even now, right? So she's done a lot of pre work, laid the foundation, for the building. And let's fast forward to how she looks after, and you can kind of see the way she like, pulls her hair down, and she, even though she's very calculated in her body language. Maybe it's for the camera, but also in everyday life, there are women like this who you might meet on dates. She's not trying to be overly cute. The first one was trying to be cute. She's like trying to be natural and be naturally beautiful. So for me, this is more of like long-term relationship type of girl who would actually hold you down, in a relationship. Not too flashy, not too out there, but just wants, love, wants probably financial security and things like that, and thinks that she deserves it and takes care of herself for the appropriate way. But she wouldn't stress you out too much, wouldn't get out of line, would probably take care of you really well. Probably I wouldn't expect a type of girl like this to really speak English. If you are her type and she's like in her, let's say, mid 20s, something like that, in another country, she'd probably, for life experience, be down for like a fling or something like that. But the more the relationship gets, she would be ready for marriage, and over 25, really have marriage on her mind. From 23 and up, be thinking about a serious relationship, not just like ready, single, ready to mingle, ready to get down, not just, down to like for whatever type of person. So I would take a girl like this kind of serious, just because even if she doesn't seem like it, yeah, like this type, I think wouldn't stress me out, wouldn't annoy me, and I could actually have a conversation with a girl like her. Even if there was kind of a language barrier, she would really try if she cared about the person. So she makes the list. Long-term relationship, yes, for this type of girl. And the last one is from a YouTube channel called Nuts. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Maybe they do female stuff. Like I don't know. But I don't know who she is. But it's about Galu makeup, which Galu we kind of talked about before. But when I was flipping through, she caught my eye quite a bit. And for one, like I'll just put a still up here, and you can kind of see. For one, she looks like she's not wearing any makeup at all. First off, so that for me, I personally like, my whole thing is like I like my women to look better, good natural. So or be like, okay, I can deal with that naturally. So like if I'll roll over, we roll over in the morning and you look completely different, I'm like, yo, what's up with that? I want you to kind of look something similar to what you look like with your makeup. I like the more subtle makeup, so I kind of know what I'm getting into. And generally speaking, in Japan, I think the makeup is a lot more subtle. It's gotten a lot more out there in the past few years. Again, Korea, K-pop kind of boom, which in my opinion, I think I'm right, has influence from hip hop, R&B, which has a lot more like stronger kind of makeup and bad girl aesthetic kind of to it. So that's kind of coming in a little bit more here, but um her, like, you can just look at her play, like, I would be totally fine waking up to that. Like, I'll be totally fine with that, right? And I'll just let it play. You can kind of see like her personality. She's really light, really light-hearted, friendly, kind of serious, you know, um, fun-loving kind of person, and she looks really different than you might see with her makeup on, right? But just she's doing an interview, you can tell she's really attentive, she's really focusing, she's really thinking about what she wants to talk, and she's laid back, she's like a chill girl, she's got a little flavor, a little style to her, but she's chill. And she kind of likes, she seems like she likes to have fun, and she will be someone you could hang out with, watch a movie, or you can go out with, have a drink if she drinks, and she will be totally cool. Like, that's kind of course my favorite, that's my style, 100%. One big tip though, one for black dudes out here, my brothers, look at the earrings. She's got the hoop earrings, okay? Hoop earrings. Look for the hoop earrings, my guys, okay? If you see a hoop that big or bigger, the bigger the hoop, the more likely the badoop badoop. Okay, I'm just telling you. The hoop is like a cheat code. It's not always a guaranteed thing, but it lets you know she has a little bit of flavor, a little bit of style, a little bit more open minded. Not necessarily saying that she automatically likes black guys, but generally, hoop earrings and black dudes kind of at some point in time are more than likely to meet in some type of situation. So if we fast forward to look at her, this is what she looks like fully made up in a nightclub. Like, if I'm younger, if I'm in my 20s and I'm single, yeah, I'm probably gonna go in on that, right? Like, that's as you can see. I mean, but I would say, like, not treat her like a sleaze bag. Like, just for what we talked about, her attitude. To be honest with you, she seems, even though she's wearing that kind of style, I wouldn't just go in like you with the yo, what's going on, kind of thing with a lot of swagoo sauce on it. I would actually like be a nice guy with someone like her. Just because even though she seems like she's like a party girl like that, she's got color contacts. Look at the way she smiles. She has kind of an innocent, fun-loving smile to her, which tells me like, even though that's her style and with the flavor that she likes to show to the world, she might not be all about that life for the streets. She might she that's just her style, but she actually seems like a nice person, and you might be her type, and she might actually like you, but not to just like sleaze her out, smother her out or like that, like or treat her like that type of girl. Actually treat her with some respect, approach her kind of softly, make general conversation with her, handle her like a little lost puppy a little bit, and she would, I think, not in like a one night stand kind of. You never know. Again, I don't know her personally, but that type of atmosphere, is something that I think I would probably want to like actually, hang out with her, like do like a house date or something like that, karaoke or something like that. I probably, if I were single in my 20s, I probably wouldn't want to like go out with her like that so much, just because her makeup style, I don't know what her fashion is like. It might be a little bit too much for me to just be out in the streets. It's just like, okay, like beyond Shibuya is like, like what are we doing? But like, hanging out, just chilling, something like that. She seems like a really, really cool chick. So just generally speaking, like, you can hopefully from this you can kind of tell like what you see is not always what you get. And style, fashion here, really, it's more in what women try to project themselves as, the face that they put on, not only makeup but style, atmosphere as well. And Japanese people are really calculated in that way, not in a negative way, but they're not calculated, conscious of how they are seen and how they see themselves. It's not like I'm just doing me and whatever, it's not like that. Because again, people are very conscious of the way they are seen in other people, and how they interact with them. So use that information. Let me know what likes or comments. If I'm tripping, if y'all like what I'm saying, if y'all agree, disagree, whatever. Here's another video for y'all, and I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.